Have you ever looked at a door and wondered what new dimensions it can open up to? Imagine a glitterati designed 4 doors that will take you to new dimensions, and in this case, to my past. Interested?
Yes.
Ready? We'll open the first door. It's taking us all the way back to 1998. I was 7 years old, and I'm standing in front of a huge crowd, the most dangerous school assembly. I'm tasked to read the news for the very first time. This was my first communication from stage. I remember my hands shivering, my legs trembling. No words came out of my mouth, just a few tears from my eyes. I did not read the news that day. I stepped back. I just went back. Closing that door, one door that I'd never want to open again. Door number 2, all the way to 2013. I was a fresher in TCS, an IT company. And like a lot of people suggest, I did clock those 70-hour working weeks back then. I moved on to that one important presentation, and I was a few hours away from it when my manager looked at the presentation and he said, "Aranya, this is garbage. I can't present this to the customer." I could have been scared, but I stepped up and I said, "Look, we put in a lot of effort. I can show you the utilization charts. We have the data points. It's okay if the aesthetics are not right. Let's make the most out of it tomorrow." I'll shut this door. Now, opening the third door, which is taking us to 2016. It was a December. I had just moved to Germany for work. A December where I did not have a New Year plan. It was the first time in many, many years that I did not have any plan for New Year. I think I was very lonely and depressed at that point of time because I was in a new place where I was unfamiliar with the people, with the language, with the country. And with a lot of push from my family, I went to a German class, a language learning class, where I met a lot of new people, we spoke, and eventually we had a New Year party that till today remains one of my favorite parties. I'll close this door and open the last door, which is bringing me to 2013. Married for 4 years, and I have a partner who's sitting next to me, and I see that he's having a really rough day. All I do is I sit next to him, I listen to him, listen all that he has to say, and eventually we hold each other's hand, and I tell him, we'll get through this. Close this and I'll come back to reality. Why did I take you through these seemingly random events of my life when I could have opened that door to the biggest, darkest secrets of my life? It was these very points and places that I had to go to understand what communication style I had. These were the pivotal moments from which I could understand something about a communication style. This project that I'm attempting required me to take up an assessment which will qualify and identify what my communication styles are. After a few set of questions, it said that I have a communication style which is of both initiative in nature and supportive in nature. For context to everybody, there are 4 categories. Direct, someone who converses directly and brings out their point. Supportive, someone who's listening, who's steady, who is calm and gives you that space to express yourself and support you. Third is initiative, spontaneous, fun-loving, starts something new. And the last one is analytical, someone who thinks about all the things, processes it and makes a clear decision. So when it said that I'm someone who's taking initiative and I'm supportive, I'm not always that person, I have to be honest. So I had to think through why this was the problem and what was it that I had as a communication style. Now, if you look back through all these years, a few things have always changed. One, for example, petrol. Back in 1998, petrol was 26 rupees. Today, what's the petrol price?
100.
So the petrol price has kept changing over a period of time because of certain circumstances and external factors. Metaphorically, my communication style is also a petrol. It has changed over a period of time. It has evolved because of certain circumstances, because of the people I've been communicating with and the mental health that I've had. With this context, let's go back to those 4 doors and see what I'm talking about. In 1998, my parents fought a lot. So a lot of my friends would come and tease me about it. So I built a cocoon around me, and to anyone who looks at me, I would come across as someone who's shy and who's withdrawn. So when I was given that opportunity, I was not looking forward to it. I was not ready to communicate. The second situation in 2013, I was introduced and I was trained in British parliamentary debate for many years then, which meant that my stage fear was erased over a period of time, and I was also in a position to understand the opponent's view. I understood that the person who's presenting an opposite view is not wrong, and not that my view is the right one, but I need to hear and be able to respond, which is what gave me that ability to respond to that person at that point of time. The third scenario, I was extremely lonely and alone in Germany, which meant I had to take certain initiatives for myself and to do something of myself in order to get out of that melancholy that I was, which is why I was able to communicate with a few people in German class and make something out of it, and thus be initiative at that point of time. And the last one, I'm someone who's lived alone for about 14 years. So when I got married, even though it was by my choice, sharing that space, having a seamless communication was definitely a rocky road and a journey that I didn't see coming. But my partner, who's always there by my side, told me that sometimes you don't have to be direct. You don't have to be analytical, and you don't have to take initiative. You just need to be supportive. So for me to listen to his issues and then say that yes, we will get through was a supportive nature he needed. So to conclude, I don't have a single communication style that I can apply in all the situation. I have a divergent communication style, which is subjective to the people that I'm talking to, the listeners, their situation, and the larger circumstances that we all have to deal with together. You know how we all take a time machine to go back and change something? I probably don't want to change anything about my communication style from the past. I just want to understand and accept what it is and deal with it in the time forward. I also invite you to think about your own communication style in a way that doesn't have to be binary. It could be a spectrum, it could change with time, it could change with different perspectives, and I want you to think about it. Thank you.